Hello out there, this is David Keenan with the BIM81 class. I'm one of the students as well, having a bit of a struggle with this access lesson in 7-1, and I believe I might have been able to figure out. What I did first is I downloaded the file from the lesson itself and opened it up in Access. Then I went through and I sorted by record series and then by record, so that way I could more easily find the categories in the lesson itself, so I can populate the other three columns: the years active, the years inactive, and the total years. And in total years, this is 3 years after T and 3 years after E. Since it's short text, it doesn't really matter having the entire words there. But so for the second part of the lesson, I went to create and then create report, and this report is how it comes up raw. And the next step says to right click record series and then group on record series that item, and it made the table into the step format which is needed, and it has everything in the proper format. And I would exit out and but save it. But the word report just after the title itself to differentiate it. Hit OK to save that. It saves it onto the side so I can bring it up at any time. For the third part of the lesson was to create a query wizard. Now here is where the instructions in the lesson are slightly different than how the newest version of Access operates. I went to Simple Query Wizard and clicked that because the other options don't really show, so I just did Simple Query Wizard, hit OK. And then out of this next window, which I don't think it was explained, but what I did was I did a double arrow to select all the fields to move them over. And the way this is set up, if you ever have multiple tables or multiple queries, you can always combine things to create a query based on combined information instead of having to just use a single table. So what I did is I clicked Next. And here is where there's a slight difference in the instruction again. At first I did open the query to view information, but instead this time around I did modify the query design, which would enable the following steps to take place. And that's something that wasn't in the instructions, but this should work because I actually completed this lesson and turned it in and found out that the audio didn't record, so I'm retracking the audio. That's why it sounds a little off. I did finish, and so I brought up, here's the query itself, just kind of in its raw form, ready to go with the run button up here and with the different options. And according to the instruction, it's total years and criteria is where we're going to enter something. So I went down to the bottom of the screen and I went over to where it says criteria, where it intersects total years, and it says to click the letter P in quotation marks, and that's what I'm about to do right now. So I went to the run the exclamation point, and what that did was it created a report with that criteria in there. So it showed only the items that had the letter P in total years. So I did turn this in, and hopefully it is the correct way, and if it is, I'll definitely let everyone know, and if it isn't, I'll try again and cut a new video, hopefully with the proper instructions. So wish me luck.